Dear family and friends, thank you all for coming here today to celebrate and honor my grandmother Regina. My name is Nadia and I am her oldest granddaughter. Let me tell you about this amazing woman who I am lucky and blessed to have in my life. Elizabeth Regina Fongon was born to Mr. John Dazim Fongon and Na Frida Lega Pefok on March 30th, 1943 in Bamenda Upstation. She is the second of 3 children, her older brother, the Reverend Richard Pefok, and her younger sister, the late Margaret Luma Fominien. Ma Regi, as she is fondly called, started her primary school education in Bu Menchum Division, where her father was the headmaster. She continued on with her primary education at St. Martin's Primary School in Wum and the Native Authority School in Befang. Her father died in 1952 while in active duty as a teacher in Befang. Grandma Regina was only 9 years old. After her father's death, Grandma and her family moved back to Bali, where she continued her education at the Native Authority School there. The family moved again in 1955 to Bamenda Upstation. Her mother had to look for work so she could take care of her children. Na Frida Lega was one of the first 8 girls to attain their primary education in the then Bamenda province, what is now the Northwest region. These 8 girls paved the way for women's education in Cameroon, and I am proud to say my great-grandmother was one of them. Grandma Regina completed her primary education at the government school Bamenda Upstation, the same school that her mother attended. My uncles and aunts will eventually attend the same school for their primary education. While she was in her last year of primary school, the students were told of an all-girls college that would be opening in Mamfe. She wrote the entrance exam and passed, and hence enrolled at this school, the Queen of the Rosary College, Okoyong, in 1956. She was a member of the pioneer class of 26 girls. Her classmates include Miss Elizabeth Asaka and Miss Doris Martin Tabe. At Okoyong, Grandma was the president of the debate club, captain at Loretto House, as well as the timekeeper. Her dormitory was the only one with the clock, so she was in charge of making sure every student was on time for all school activities. While at Okoyong, Grandma Regina represented the Southern Cameroon in the Commonwealth Youth Movement Quest after competing against 2 other students from the Cameroon Protestant College, Bali, and St. Joseph's College, Sase Boya. This event brought youths from all the Commonwealth countries. The Commonwealth Youth Movement Quest was founded by Major Frederick James Ney. It was a way of bringing youths from all the Commonwealth countries to learn more about the British way of life and governance. He believed the youth would play a big role in shaping the world. His goal was to train the youth of all the Commonwealth to act as a bulwark against competing ideological forces such as totalitarianism and communism. This event took her to England, Scotland, and Wales, and finally to Canada aboard the SS Britannia to Ottawa and Toronto, Canada, where she witnessed the opening of the St. Lawrence Waterway by Queen Elizabeth II. She graduated from Okoyong in 1961 and continued on with her high school education at the Queen of the Rosary College in Onitsha, Nigeria. She returned to Cameroon after graduating and taught English at the St. Francis Teacher Training College in Fiango, Kumba from January of 1964 to August of that year. In 1964, Grandma started her university education at the Trinity College, which is now known as Trinity University in Washington, D.C., thanks to the African Scholarship Program of American Universities. This scholarship program enabled highly qualified African secondary school graduates to attend universities at United States institutions of higher learning. She graduated in 1967 with a Bachelor of Science in Economics. During her years at Trinity College, she met a young man at a party in Washington, D.C., at the home of the then cultural attaché, Mr. Fosso. Jose Mundi was in medical school at Temple University in Philadelphia at that time. They fell in love and got married on December 23, 1967 in D.C. Mr. and Mrs. Paul Engel were her anchor family in Washington and gave her away on her wedding day. Grandma moved with my grandfather, Jose, to Philadelphia, where she worked as a social welfare caseworker for the city of Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, they had their first child, my father, Akombum Michael Dazem Mundi. Akombum means only God knows. He was also named after his grandfather, Dazem. In 1970, after graduating from medical school, the family moved back to Cameroon. They settled in Bamenda, where Grandpa worked at the General Hospital before relocating to Yaoundé as the Deputy Director of Health. They moved back to Bamenda, where Grandpa again worked at the General Hospital before retiring in 1982 to open up his private practice, the Good Samaritan Polyclinic. During that period, Grandma taught economics at various government high schools and higher institutions of learning, including CAS Bambali and ENS Annex Bambali. During her years as a teacher, my grandparents welcomed more children. Aneambum Bunye, the first girl, was born in 1970. Aneambum means God has made it possible, and Mbunye, her middle name in honor of her paternal great-grandmother. In 1972, Awunti Vunan was born. He was named by the late Honorable Joseph Chongwan Awunti, who was Grandpa Jose's big at the Cameroon Protestant College in Bali. Abongbom and Mawan came in 1975. Abong means God is good. Mawan, which means mother of many children, was named after Grandma Regina's grandmother. Apparently, the night before the twins were born, Grandma's father came to Nalega in a dream to tell her that his mother was born. And so, when my grandfather's dear friend, Dr. Obed Nana, came to tell Nalega that Grandma Regina had put to birth, she told him to tell his friends that the girl had to be named Mawan. And the last, Abundo Faye, was born in 1977. Faye is a follower of twins in the Bali dialect. Abundo means who is beautiful. In September of 1983, Grandma was appointed the Social and Economic Affairs Advisor to the Governor of the Northwest Province, the first woman to be appointed to this role. In this role, she advised the governor on economic and social policies for poverty reduction, economic growth, and social inclusion for the province. She was in this role until 1991. Grandma Regina has always been interested in politics, not simply for the sake of being a politician, but to use it as a platform to empower women. With her husband's support, she joined the then Cameroon National Union Party in the early 1970s. She became the WCNU subsection secretary and eventually section president for Mezam Division. The party later on became known as the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement. She served in that role for 10 years. She is currently a member of the Central Committee and the Political Bureau of the CPDM. She is a senator from the Northwest region, serving as a member of the Finance Committee and the Vice President of the CPDM Parliamentary Group. Due to her exceptional service, bravery, and contribution to the nation, she has been awarded the Knight of the National Order of Valor, the Officer of the National Order of Valor, the Commander of the National Order of Valor, and finally, the Grand Officer of the National Order of Valor, which is the highest honor given to any civilian in the country. Grandma Regina has been interested in the area of safe childbirth for a long time, and as a senator, that is one of the areas where she is pushing for reforms. She wants to see that the government continues to increase efforts in trying to eradicate maternal death and also to be able to sensitize the society so that the public know their place in the reduction of maternal deaths. To this end, she recently started the Jose and Regina Mundi Foundation. A current initiative under the foundation is the Safe Motherhood Association. The purpose of this association is to contribute within the public health educational framework towards the improvement of human development by focusing on the medical and psychological needs of women and children with the overall aim of reducing maternal and child mortality in the Northwest region of Cameroon. We will hear more about the foundation later this evening. My grandmother is a member of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, having attended the PC Bastos and now a member of PC in Tamlung. She taught Sunday school in both congregations and is a member of the Christian Women Fellowship and the Njang Choir. She and her late husband encouraged their kids to join the new Bethel Choir in Tamlung. They were patrons of that choir. For more than 30 years, the new Bethel Choir has blessed her home and the neighbors on December 23rd for a time of worship in song and prayers. She is a founding member of the social group Mother is Gold in Bamenda. This is a group of influential women who support each other and take on projects within the community to empower others. She is also a member of FedFed, a group of Bali Yongya women committed to improving the status and living conditions of vulnerable communities, notably women, youths, and the girl child. Grandma is also an active member of her secondary school alumni, Okuyong Past Student Association. From the time she was married, Grandma embraced her Babanki Kejem Keku community and has been active in the development of the village and the welfare of its people. The font of Babanki honored her with the title Fifoin, which means Queen Mother, in 2014, the first of 5 Fifoins. These women advised the fawn on issues in the palace and the village as a whole. They even have the power to correct the fawn and his wives if they misbehave or go out of line. After 21 years of marriage, Grandma lost her dearest husband, Jose, on June 29, 1988. He was only 50 years old. She became a widow at 45 with 6 children to care for. The years after losing her husband was a really dark period for her. But praise God, she relied on his strength to see her through every challenge she encountered. One of her favorite verses is Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, which states, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." She has relied on this truth to take her through the valleys and fires in her life. She has also been blessed with an amazing group of family and friends who have stood by her in all her challenges, trials, and tribulations. God did not promise anyone a life free of trials and tribulations. What is evident in her life is the promise of God's grace and providence. Grandma Regina has been blessed with 3 daughters-in-law and 9 grandchildren. My dad, Akha, married my mom, Angela, in 1999, and they have 4 children: Jose, myself, Euphony, and Gina. Uncle Awunti married Auntie Antonia in 2003, and they have been blessed with 3 children: Aisha, Malaika, and Akindo. Uncle Abundo is married to Auntie Quinta, and they have 2 children, Ane and Fongon. Pa Abundo is the head of the Jose Mundi family as he succeeded my grandfather. Grandma Regina has dedicated her whole life to raising her children and instilling in them the values of hard work, honesty, integrity, and gratitude. She encourages us to always think positively and to make the best out of every situation. She tells us to make pink lemonades out of the lemons we are given. She has been given lots of lemons in her lifetime and has certainly made pink lemonades out of them. She asks us to avoid blaming others for our setbacks and to always stay the course of our goals. Grandma Regina encourages us to read books that will expand our minds and to listen to speeches given by influential people. Grandma Regina has friends till this day that she met while in secondary school. Her friends are very important and dear to her, and we see the value of maintaining our own friendships. Another advice that Grandma has given us is to never walk around downcast, even when we are penniless. We should focus on our blessings rather than our problems. God sees us and promises to walk with us when we go through difficulties. Most importantly, she encourages us to belong to a community of God's people. God should always be our first resort rather than our last.
Loving you is like food to my soul. Never gonna go a day without you. Fills me up just thinking about you. I'll never go a day without my mother. You know, mama, you know I love you. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. The queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Your love is like tears from the stars. Mama, I just want you to know. Mama, loving you is like food to my soul. Loving you is like food to my soul.
As we celebrate our mother and grandmother today, we are thankful and grateful for her life. We thank God for blessing her and providing her, giving her the wisdom to raise us. We are eternally grateful for all the sacrifices she has made and continues to make for us. Grandma Regina, may God bless you and keep you. We love you very dearly and are so blessed to have you as the matriarch of this family.